What's up? How are you doing, Miranda?
I'm good. How are you? Thanks for having
Great.
me on.
No, I am like thrilled that you are here. Let me just tell you that because, I appreciate the fact that you always have something to say about like what's going on in the world, and I appreciate that because I feel like our generation, they're not really involved. Do you find that or?
You know, I do and I don't. Like, I love that younger people are really kind of getting out and like kind of taking a stance for certain things, or it looks like they're taking a stand for certain things, or they want to stand for something.
Right.
I do worry that our generation is a little bit like, kind of whatever, but like I feel like we have to do something or you
Yeah.
speak on something, especially with what's going, I mean, in the past few years, what's been going on.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's all of us have kind of got to a point where we are, something's got to give.
Yeah, like how, because how are we in this same place that we've been in? You know what I mean? Like I feel like we're definitely going backwards. Like right now, the big hot topic, which you're jumping in to talk about today, is abortion. And the whole argument. Like I feel like my whole life we've been discussing like abortion or just going back and forth. Like 4 years they'll get here and then they'll get there, and then it's just like going back and forth like a teeter-totter. And
it is crazy. It's one of those things where it's like, how is it that we're just so that we got to this place? You know what I'm saying? You're right. It's one of those things. It's been on a topic forever. It's always on a ballot. It's always in somebody's, statement or mission. And it's like, why?
Right. Thank you. I was just about to
why are we still having this discussion?
Yeah, literally. Like, why? Why are we?
Right.
And like me, okay, I'm going to just say it, like, I'm going to be transparent. My whole, and I'm sure other people probably feel the same way, is that with abortion, I always kind of felt like, well, be responsible. Don't be out here, having all kinds of casual sex, and be responsible, use contraceptives, and all that good stuff. Don't use abortion as contraceptive. But I am finding that there are a lot of reasons why women need to have abortions.
Yeah, that one thing that you posted yesterday, which is what got us on the conversation. Once it becomes really personal, you don't like it. Once you hear people's personal stories or accounts of why and where and how and whatever, you kind of have a different perspective, because it's really until you're actually in that place that where you have to actually make that decision, that it's like, oh shit, damn, maybe the way that I was thinking about this all along was wrong. So like the one that stood out to me was, her parents would be upset, like they would disown her if she did this and this, that, and the other. But the reality of it is that's because that's the way that you were brought up. What's to say that if you were to tell your parents that now they're in that position that they have to make that choice with you? Right. What's to say that they might not change their mind?
Yeah, exactly. Because a lot of us have been programmed with our experiences of other people.
Right.
Exactly. That's really what it comes down to. And I feel like, with this podcast, like, we don't have the answers. We're not saying we know everything, but we're trying to get with other people to like talk about these things. And I think that's what we need to do as a nation, is to really have a dialogue about things that are really going to affect a lot of us. You know what I mean? Like this is huge. Abortion rights, women's health.
Huge.
It's huge.
It is huge. And I actually got into it with somebody yesterday on Instagram. And it was stupid because like I had all the time and opportunity, and I was just like, I feel like it,
Right.
And he's like, well, you could just go to another state. Well, so I read an account. Actually, I think it was in that thing where she had 48 hours. She was off. She had 48 hours and she had to be at work, like, and she had to drive 8 hours to get
Right.
there and have the procedure and then
And it
leave
was
by
at like
1 a.m. to
exactly.
get back to work.
Yep.
That's not an option. That's not a safe option.
Exactly. That is super dangerous. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And let's talk about finances. Like, who really just has the money to travel to another state? Just look at gas right now is what, $6.19 a gallon?
It's $6 a gallon. It's
You know what I mean? So like, come on. Like, I don't know. People are just, I don't know. I don't know where we are. I just,
it's really frustrating to see this movement backwards. Like, first of all, like, let one of these people get like a mistress pregnant. What do you think they're gonna do?
exactly. It's the hypocrisy of it all. Like,
It's the hypocrisy of it all.
yeah,
It really is. And the other thing is that, again, you're making decisions based off of, okay, also, where's the separation between church and state? Isn't that actual thing? Like, so yes, while and you know what, I'll be transparent. I've gone through it. I've had an abortion, and it's not a fun thing. It's very traumatic. It's scary. It's whatever, but I had to do it for my own reasons. And it happened. And I'm glad that I had the option and the opportunity to be able to have a safe abortion.
Yes. Yes.
But like I said, like, until you actually have that experience, how would you know?
Yeah.
Like, how would you know?
Yeah, you wouldn't until you're in somebody's shoes. You're not, you don't know what you're gonna do.
No, you don't.
You don't.
And the other thing is, like, where I live, there's actually an abortion clinic like right down the street.
Really?
So I see picketers.
But we're good. California, that's the thing. Like, California.
We're great. Yeah, yes. It's not going to be an issue for us per se, but I'm just so angry for other people, other states. Think about it like this. Yes, women can get pregnant, but a man can get somebody pregnant every day of the year. So really, who's the issue at this point?
Right. Exactly. Yeah, it's definitely targeting women. You know?
Right, because where else, if a man was to get pregnant, guess what we'd be doing? This wouldn't be an issue.
No, it wouldn't be an issue. But I think it's a way to still control women because, I mean, think about it, like women's suffrage and women voting rights and all that stuff, that's fairly recent, you know, like all these civil rights that we've experienced as Black people, as women, like it's just now happening, you know, like it's maybe 50 years old, 60 years old, not even.
Yeah, it's fairly new. It's really, and that's the thing. I mean, this bill, yes, I mean, this whole situation is, you know, about abortion, but there's so many other things that are really connected to this that makes it even bigger. Gay rights.
Yep. They even threw out interracial. Yeah, that's what I heard too. I said, what?
Like,
if they
I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for that.
My niece and nephew wouldn't be here. Like, I think just about everybody would be out in the streets protesting if they even tried to come to that. But I wouldn't put it past them because a lot of this stuff is racial. Even abortion is a racial issue. Like, everything in America comes down to race in some way because they want to keep, you know, like conservatives want to keep things how they
like the good old days.
Yeah, exactly.
I like to say it.
Yeah.
You know, I was talking to my significant other today, and I was telling him that I was gonna do this podcast with you, and he actually made a good point.
Okay.
I'm sorry, there's like a leaf blower over here. So
is that why you had the Beyonce hair going just now?
Right. He made a good point, and he said, you know, there's more fathers in the minority community that are being fathers and being there. and they're not really out in the system, and they're not in those private prisons that people, they don't have that workforce anymore, which is one of the reasons why they want to do this. And I'm like, I didn't even think of it that way.
Exactly. There's a lot of ways to think about it. Like what they're telling us is one thing, but what's happening, what they really need, they're not saying. You know what I mean? Like they don't want people, they want, like we have a labor shortage.
Yeah.
We have a labor shortage. We're in that right now.
Yeah.
You know? So they need consumers. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to also look at things financially or economically.
Yep. Yeah. I mean,
so they need us. They need little us to grow up and become.
And that's exactly what he was saying. And I was like, I didn't even think of it from that stance, but you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
It's just there's just so many little caveats that that should make you insanely mad.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, because it's more, and even I was doing some reading today, and like at first I thought it was all about, religion and all that stuff, but it's so much more to it. It's not just religious reasons.
That's what we were talking about last night, because I know that you are religious.
Yeah.
And for certain, like you said it was, that's how I thought of it until I read that. I was like, I never really thought of it from that perspective.
Mm-hmm. Because a lot of the right to life people, the people who started it, they wanted it to be more about the fetus, like the life, the heartbeat, and the conception of it. It was never a religious thing until Republicans needed votes, and they got with the Catholic community, they got with the Protestant, the white evangelical. I can't even say that word, but you know what I mean. The mostly like the Bible Belt states, they needed those people to secure the conservative vote. Right. So it wasn't even about religion at first.
Right. And so that's a really good segue into what we were going to talk about, because so as we were talking about last night, I'm adopted. I'm a child of adoption, and my mom is actually Catholic. My birth mother is actually Catholic. So this is one of the reasons why I'm probably here. So she gave me up. She was a little bit younger when she had me. And, she gave me up for adoption. So it's a really weird situation for me to be in, because as a child of adoption, having an abortion and my mom not making that decision, I wouldn't be here if that was the case, right? So it's almost kind of weird. Well, I wouldn't say weird, because you know what? In the time, like at the time, that wasn't my choice. That my choice was what I wanted it to be. But also that goes to show like what was going on back then and how much of a chokehold it had on people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Catholicism was huge on it.
Yeah.
Huge.
Right. So now us having the knowledge that we have now, and I didn't grow up Catholic because my adopted parents are more, I don't remember exactly Methodist, I'm sorry. Oh, okay. And we actually go to a very progressive church. Mm-hmm. So, those types of things, that's not the situation I had. I choose what I wanted to do. Mm-hmm. So, when I see, yes, I mean, obviously I'm thankful for the choice that my mom made, but the choices that our parents make are not necessarily choices that we make, right? Mm-hmm. So,
yeah, and we're also, think about it, we're in a different time. Like
we are absolutely different.
Like if my niece or somebody got pregnant young and was faced with the choice of having a child as a teenager, she can't afford that child.
No.
You know what I mean? And that would definitely, in this day and age, like it just wouldn't work out. Like,
right. And like, it's also like, think about it. You fetishize almost Teen Mom. Like we have Teen Mom, the TV show. Like that show's been on since I was in college.
Yeah. On MTV, right? Or something.
Yeah, on MTV show. Like, what is happening? Like, so I mean, it's almost like they've made it like an acceptable thing, but it's like you're
Yeah.
losing
Your
a
whole life.
very important part of your life. You really are. I wouldn't definitely like, I do have kids. I started having kids when I was like 25. So I had those experiences prior to doing that. And I'm so glad that I did, because I don't think I'd be able to be the parent that I am now back then.
And you're a great
sure.
parent. Let me say that. Her
Thank
boys are wonderful. But yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
So, I mean, and also, on the subject of adoption, it's like, I was lucky to have my family find me. But there's
Okay,
so
so
many
your
children.
adoptive parents found you? I mean, not your biological. I mean,
have I met them? Yes, I have met them.
Okay.
But there's so many kids that aren't lucky, or there's kids that are in the system get adopted out to parents that are terrible to them. Like, we're not thinking about, yeah, adoption is a great option for some people, but you also don't want to have same-sex couples adopt. Like, where does it stop? You know what I mean? Like, at what point are we thinking about what's going to be good for that child? Because I can tell you, yes, I was very blessed to have a wonderful family. I grew up not really wanting for nothing, but like, I have a very traumatic story with like meeting my birth parents and that experience. And it has traumatized me as an adult. So know that like adoption is a good option, but it also comes with consequences too for that person growing up. So we're not thinking about the bigger picture. You're thinking about how to get that child to, from a fetus to a home. Right. But there's not enough homes. We're not thinking about the possibility of you being somebody getting adopted by somebody abusive. We're not thinking about any of that stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And also I had come across earlier is that people aren't really just people are looking for children, but they want like white babies or, like African American kids are the least to be adopted. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. And there's just like so many things to consider that we don't consider. Right. And I think you have a great perspective on it,
I mean, it's like when I see the people with the picket signs like over by my house, and I'm just like, sometimes I just want to stop and be like, are you adopting these kids? Like, what are the other options? Please tell me, give me a list of 10 people right now, reputable people that you would give these kids to. I want to know.
Right. Yeah, they'll have their criteria about that. And the thing with all these like protesters, like if they are coming from a place of religion, they don't seem very loving. They're very like hateful and like evil. That part. Like, well, how are you guys blowing up clinics and like, murdering doctors? Like, what part of that is good for?
So it's okay to. It's not okay for the fetus, but it's okay to murder these grown-ass people that you were supposed to be protecting from the beginning, right? Okay.
Right. Exactly.
But also most of them are like pro the death penalty. Make it make sense.
It doesn't. And then, this is even more crazy. It's like, all these conservatives, Republicans are talking about, oh, we don't want to wear masks. We don't want to take the vaccine. No mandates for this. But that's so you can have choice over that.
And using my body, my choice for that. And I'm like, how can you use the catchphrase that is for this very subject?
Exactly.
For that.
Exactly. It's just, no, and that's what we're dealing with. That's what we're dealing with in America is like an insane regime. Like the Republican, like at this point, I don't know, they try to talk so bad about ISIS and, all the other people, man, Al-Qaeda, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, this is America. America is pretty crazy and gangster and just crazy. And like strategically though, like they've been strategically breaking down democracy and just everything, the fabric, the moral fabric of America. And they'll dangle a little carrot out there to make it seem like it's totally moral and right. But no, it's really not,
It's
you know?
not. It's actually really scary. It's scary to the point where it's just like, you know, like, okay, with the Georgia stuff where they just like, you can just carry a gun wherever. What's to say? Like somebody just like got in a road rage situation and shot this girl in the head. Luckily it grazed her and she survived, but
Yeah.
you are making such a crazy life decision.
Right. And they're just like, their whole thing, oh, guns don't kill people, people kill people. Well, people are killing people like at high rates
Right.
daily in
And
America.
then also, so now you're still worried about this abortion thing, but people are killing people. It's essentially the same thing.
Oh, you're right. That is such a good point. That is such a good point. That is crazy. It's crazy. It's okay. You can shoot and kill and defend and stand your ground, but no, not our little baby that may not even feel pain. Right. A little fetus, like may not even be feeling pain. Like
it's a bunch of cells.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of cells. Like,
yeah.
It's just, it's crazy to me. It's crazy to me.
Yeah.
And I mean, most people don't even know they're pregnant, like until they're 6 weeks and it's already too late. You know what I'm saying? Or however, whatever the week mark is.
Yeah. What was Texas? Texas is the lowest one. It's like 6 weeks. They're like 6 weeks. If you don't have your abortion by then, it's a done deal. But a lot of states were like 12 to 15.
I mean, it's just like no one knows. Like, what do you mean? Yeah. Like, I think I was like 8 weeks pregnant when I found out I was pregnant with Jordan or Jaden. Like, Jaden wasn't really planned, Jordan was, but like that's when I found out. Like
8 weeks. Yeah.
Like, like it's crazy to me. And then think of like, there was this one quote like that really just pissed me the hell off yesterday from the Ohio senator. Let me see if I can pull it up on my phone.
Is it the guy that just got elected? Joe, the one that Trump endorsed or something?
Gene Smith.
Oh, no. Okay.
So he was quoted saying, okay, when the topic of rape came up during a committee debate, Schmidt said, "It is a shame that rape happens, but it's an opportunity for that woman, no matter how young or old she is, to make a determination about what she's going to do to help that fetus."
Help that fetus, help me. Like, I don't know. I mean, yeah. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
To me, it's just so like, first of all, like, wow, like you said that in public. Cool.
Yeah.
But also for people to say that, Democrats are groomers and, people from the LGBT community are grooming people and this, that, and the other. It sounds to me like you're grooming some predators.
Yeah.
Because what I heard just now, that those victims do not have any more rights than the rapists do. So make it make sense, beloved, because at this point I'm just like, wow.
But I mean, think of that culture though. Think of the Matt Gaetz, think of the Donald Trumps, think of the Epsteins, you know what I mean? They're all about that culture. So he said it out loud. He meant it, take it, enjoy it, grab them in the boop, you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's just, that's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with just a whole different level of like perversion.
I know, and it's crazy.
In the mainstream. That's the thing. Like, it's
like I always like, I've stopped to wonder. I'm like, is it just because now we're older, we're seeing this stuff a little bit more? Because I feel like when we were younger, we weren't really paying attention to this shit. But no, it's just more blatant. That's all it is.
Yeah. It's like the songs. It's like music though. Think about it. Like back in the day, they'd be talking about the same stuff, but now songs will literally say, they will say it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. 1000%. You're right. Cause like Too Close, we all knew what that was about.
Right.
But
I feel it poking through. Like, okay.
But now it's like, it's just blatant and out there, and people are just saying,
let me give you throw babies.
Jesus Christ.
You know what I mean? So yeah.
Like sometimes
So
I have to be like, I can't let my kids listen to this. Like I know they do at some point, but I'm just like, these kids have literal, like, I swear they have like no innocence anymore.
yeah, no, they don't. They don't. It's the world that we're living in. You know what I mean? So we have to be there every step of the way. And that's like another reason why I do this podcast, is just to share knowledge with people. Like we got to start thinking, because if not, we're gonna, I don't know, they're gonna take all of our rights away. Like we might be slaves again.
Girl, we about to be handmaids.
Exactly.
Buckle up, girl.
Exactly. Like I'm good. I'm not trying to do none of that. I'm not trying to
I don't need a ritual pregnancy. That's not what I need.
Yeah, like stay out of, like, really just mind your business. Like let
Right.
people do what they need to do for their lives. That's best for them. And yeah, that's pretty much where we're at with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, any last minute remarks about anything?
No, just stay the fuck away from my uterus. How about that?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. As simple as that.
Yeah.
Men should get vasectomies. Is that what we should do?
They're reversible. Go right ahead. Shit,
Right?
I'm about to get these tubes tied in a minute. Like, I don't even want to try. Like, nope.
Yeah.
Not gonna make me a handmaid, baby.
Yeah, but if they start taking away, different forms of that possibly, or contraception, or it's like how
started, girl.
Yeah, it's like how far are they gonna go with this? Because they want kids to be here. They want to just populate the earth or something. I don't know. But
they need to get it together is what they need to do.
Yeah, so I don't know. But thank you for coming and jumping in and talking.
Of course.
This
was
topic.
Super fun.
We'll have to I'm sure you'll have to jump in on another topic soon.
I'm always down.
Sounds good, man. Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye.